Alexander the Great, the conqueror of the known world. In the annals of history, few names burn as brightly as Alexander the Great. A king at just 20 years old, a conqueror before 30, and a legend for all eternity. From the rugged hills of Macedonia to the distant shores of India, Alexander carved an empire that stretched across 3 continents and changed the world forever. This is the story of Alexander the Great, the conqueror of the known world. Chapter 1: The Rise of a King. Born in 356 BC in the city of Pella, Alexander was the son of King Philip II of Macedonia and Queen Olympias. From his father, he inherited ambition and military genius. From his mother, a burning belief in his divine destiny. Educated by the great philosopher Aristotle, Alexander grew up immersed in the worlds of philosophy, science, and epic poetry. But while he studied the words of Homer, he also trained relentlessly in the arts of war. When Philip II was assassinated, the young prince ascended the throne at only 20. Many believed Macedonia would fall into chaos. Instead, Alexander silenced revolts, crushed rebellion, and proved to the world that a new kind of king had risen. Chapter 2: The Persian Dream. Alexander's ambition stretched far beyond Greece. His true enemy was the vast Persian Empire, ruled by King Darius III. The Persians had once invaded Greece, burning cities and threatening its freedom. Now Alexander sought vengeance and glory. In 334 BC he crossed the Hellespont with 40,000 men. On the plains of Issus, the outnumbered Macedonians faced Darius himself. Against impossible odds, Alexander's tactics and fearless leadership shattered the Persian army. The young king had begun his march into legend. Chapter 3: The Conqueror of Egypt. After Issus, Alexander turned south. Egypt, weary of Persian rule, welcomed him not as an invader but as a liberator. In Memphis he was crowned pharaoh. At the oasis of Siwa, the oracle of Ammon declared him the son of Zeus. For his followers, Alexander was no longer just a king, he was divine. In his honor, a new city was founded, Alexandria, which would become a beacon of culture, trade, and knowledge for centuries to come. Chapter 4: The March into Asia. Having secured Egypt, Alexander returned to the heart of Persia. At the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC, he faced Darius once more. Outnumbered 5-1, Alexander's cavalry smashed through the Persian lines. Darius fled, his empire crumbling behind him. Babylon, Susa, Persepolis, the jewels of Persia fell to the Macedonian king. In Persepolis, the ceremonial capital, Alexander allowed the city to be burned. Whether by drunken accident or deliberate symbolism, the flames marked the end of Persia's dominance. Chapter 5: To the Edge of the World. Not content with Persia, Alexander pressed further east. Across deserts and rivers, through mountains and jungles, he pushed his men to the limits of endurance. In India he faced King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes. For the first time, Alexander confronted war elephants, towering beasts that terrified even the hardened Macedonian veterans. Yet through discipline and strategy the Macedonians triumphed, and Alexander honored Porus, restoring him as a loyal ally. But his soldiers, exhausted and longing for home, refused to march further. At the banks of the Hydaspes River, Alexander was forced to turn back. The dream of conquering the entire known world ended here. Chapter 6: The Fall of a Legend. In 323 BC, at just 32 years old, Alexander the Great fell ill in Babylon. Days later, the conqueror of empires was dead. Whether by fever, poison, or fate, his end remains one of history's greatest mysteries. With no clear heir, his empire fractured, torn apart by his generals in the wars of the successors. Yet his vision lived on. Greek culture spread across the ancient world, blending with Eastern traditions in what became known as the Hellenistic Age. Legacy. Alexander's empire did not last, but his legend has never faded. He was a conqueror, a visionary, a man who believed he was destined for greatness. From Greece to Egypt, from Persia to India, the world he reshaped still bears his mark. More than 2,000 years later, Alexander the Great remains what he always sought to be: unforgettable. If you enjoyed this journey into history, don't forget to subscribe to Battlefield Legends History and share this video with friends who love epic stories of the past.